I'm ready.
Hi, everybody, and welcome once again to our weekly meeting, our Thursday meeting.
Turn that on.
Turn off the music.
Oh, I got it.
Okay, we're gonna kill the music.
There we go.
In the meantime, Mary, would you like to come up? Mary's gonna lead us in the pledge and four-way test.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The four-way test. Number one, is it the truth? Two, is it fair to all concerned? Three, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Four, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Laura, we have an inspiration for us.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Hello. I'm going to make it extremely short because we only have less than an hour, much less than an hour. So, and since it's so sunny and beautiful outside, I thought I would pick this one. Keep your face always towards the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you.
See any, but do we have any visiting Rotarians? I don't think we do.
I do.
Yeah. Oh. Well, there we go.
I'd like to introduce you to my niece Ashley. She's been here once before. She's very likely going to be joining our club. So she won't be visiting for long.
Thanks. And I know we have our guest speakers. Would you like to just announce them, but you can introduce them more formally later?
I'm a stickler for using the mic. Just want to introduce Nathan and Kaycee, who are our guest speakers from Rentec today.
Hey, we've got a few awards to give out, some recognitions. So what we'd like to do is put the announcements at the end. So we want to give plenty of time to our speakers and take a few moments to recognize a few of us. So announcements will go at the end. So the first one goes to, it's a certificate of appreciation from Shoes That Fit to Jody McDonald. Jody. Let's see.
You know, I love this program and I appreciate the fact that we as a club have been able to do it, and I hope we're able to continue to keep doing it. To see the kids be able to get these shoes, the lights in their eyes for kids that always get hand-me-downs or are always wearing cruddy things because that's all they can have, to have a brand new pair of name brand shoes is phenomenal. So I thank you guys for the support. Looking forward to being able to give the Boys and Girls Club 49 pair of shoes the beginning of next month. I don't know dates yet, so I will keep you informed on that, but hopefully we just keep it rolling and keep passing it along.
It is a wonderful program. You know, we had the District 5110 conference this past weekend, and prior to that, the district governor asked for nominations for all kinds of categories of awards. And I know Judy submitted one and I submitted a couple or several, and we actually won two. So I'd like to recognize a few people. So this is the district governor's certificate of recognition for avenues of service to youth to Lisa Looney.
Well, I'm just like Jody. I love this program. I love to see the youth be appreciated and recognized, and it really makes them feel good, and I think it makes us all feel good too.
Friday evening at the opening of the conference, personally called up by name to the governor to receive this award on behalf of the Rotary Club of Road Gateway. It's presented by the district governor, and only 2 were done this year. It's the Rotary Significant Service Award. Presented to the Rotary Club of Road Gateway in recognition of outstanding and significant community service efforts.
I'm batting about 500 at this point in the nominations that I submitted. Let's see, one more. This is for District Governor Certificate of Recognition for Outstanding Rotarian in Public Image, and that goes to Janie Dole.
Okay. Jim says I need to tell you a little bit about what I do, but you guys all know because I'm always up in your face with my camera, taking pictures of all the amazing things that you guys are doing. So it's pretty easy to look good posting all these fabulous things because you guys do fabulous things. So good on all of you, but thank you for this. I really
Yes, you guys do a lot.
Should we take a picture?
You do it, let me, just wait a moment, one moment. Well, I was just to say, she does so much, I didn't even know how much she did till I asked her to help me, you know, give me some data so I could fill out the nomination form, and I was kind of amazed, to tell you the truth. So what I like about being in this club, you keep learning things about other people that you had no clue they were even involved in. At any rate, Judy, why don't you introduce our speakers and we'll get rolling.
Yeah. We'd like to sell out.
Okay.
$4, 10 for 10.
Carry on, Greg. I'm really happy today to have some local business people with us, and Josie Malloy, before she moved, had recommended that we invite Kaycee and Nathan to join us, and Nate volunteered Kaycee to make the presentation today. There you go. He's referred to as Kaycee's husband. And Kaycee is the Director of Operations and Marketing for Rentec Direct, a property management software company in GP, serving 15,000 property managers and landlords nationwide. Kaycee has helped Rentec Direct gain national recognition on the Inc. 5,000 fastest growing companies in America for 7 consecutive years. Entrepreneur Magazine's 360 Best Entrepreneurial Companies in America and gold medals from the American Business Awards. Kaycee is also a real estate writer, speaker, and investor. She's on the executive committee for So Ready and a member of the Road Community College Business Advisory Committee. She regularly contributes educational insight and industry knowledge on property management and real estate investing. With experience from renting to managing and owning to building, her perspective captures every aspect of the rental market. Her work has been featured on the National Association of Realtors, Realtor Magazine, Rentals.com, Medium.com, Rentec Direct's Property Pro Magazine, ApartmentGuide.com, and the National Association of Residential Property Management's Residential Resource. But most importantly, they also have 3 kids, one of whom is in school with Zara's grandkid. Come on up.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone. You guys hear me okay? I'm so tall. So I like to stay on track, so I'm gonna set a timer because I'm gonna do 15, 20 minutes. I always like to. So that's all I'm doing up here is setting the timer. So anyway, thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate that lovely introduction. Thank you, Judy, for inviting us. And of course, we all love Josie and miss her very much. So we really appreciate her contribution to the business community and thinking to invite us here today. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Rentec Direct. Judy did give you kind of this brief intro of what we are. Should I just point at you when?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. So like Judy said, I'm Kaycee Miller. I might just hold this. Does this come out?
Just snap it out.
Okay. Thank you. So I'm Kaycee Miller. I am one of the owners of Rentec Direct with my husband Nathan. Nathan actually started the company in 2007. He is from Josephine County. He grew up in Cape Junction before moving to Grants Pass when he graduated high school. And I've been in Oregon since I graduated college a while ago. But I've been with Rentec Direct for almost 10 years now. And my primary role is doing marketing and operations for the company. So we mentioned that we have 15,000 clients nationwide, and our clients are landlords, property managers, real estate investors, owner operators, and they use the product. Property management software is a tool where people can keep track of their accounting, organize all their properties, organize their renters, collect rent payments online. And so overall, right now, we have over 400,000 active users nationwide, because that includes the renters who log into the app to pay their rent online, submit maintenance requests, and that kind of stuff. So we were started in 2007. It actually started, I always like to share the origin story. I have the mic up here, so I get to talk about Nathan. The origin story is pretty fascinating when you think about a success story for our region. So Nathan grew up in Cave Junction. After high school, moved to Grants Pass, and he kind of has worked every aspect of tech, from the hardware to the install to the software part of it. So started out installing internet cables in homes. From there, moved up to managing the server equipment for those internet companies. Then from there, going to the internet billing software of internet service providers. And along the lines was always wanting to figure out how to make businesses more efficient, the company he was working for more efficient, and actually taught himself computer programming languages to continue developing the software for the company he was working for, and kind of grew up through that company to be the CTO. That success on his own led him to invest in real estate. So if you go to the next slide, the next one kind of shows like how Rentec Direct started from Nathan's experience. What was the problem and how did we come up with a solution? That's kind of what we see a lot, especially for lots of businesses and especially software companies. So Nathan was able to invest in real estate, had rental properties, was using Excel, notepads, collecting receipts, trying to figure out who was late on rent, and all these different systems for tracking those income, collecting rent, and knowing through his experience with software, like there has to be a program out there where this can all be automated. It can all be kept track of. At the time, so early 2000s, there were programs out there for property management software. They really catered to the huge multifamily properties where people who had like 10,000 rental units for apartments. And that just was not affordable or cost effective. So Nathan created this program for himself, wrote it on his own in his free time because he was working full-time for another company, and was able to put together a program that then he put on the internet, and this was the 2007-2009 era, and made it available for free. So people started using it, asking him for support requests, and that's where the company Rentec Direct came from, where he's like, okay, I could actually I'm getting a lot of questions. They have really good ideas for how to develop this. Maybe I could charge something and hire someone to help answer these questions so I can do the development side of it. Someone can help with the support side of it. So I was kind of sharing that story, because I think that's really what led to some of Rentec Direct's success, is that it was really self-motivated and slow growth. And now we come to this solution that is up here. So it is one system that handles all of the accounting, the marketing, the tenant communication. So that's like sending out reminder emails to your tenants, like, hey, there's an inspection coming up, or hey, rent is due, or hey, there's an increase coming. If you want to go to the next one. So today, these are the 4 core products that I think of Rentec is providing. We have Rentec Pro, Rentec Premium. That's pretty much the same software, just targeted towards different uses. A landlord is someone who owns the properties that they manage, versus a property manager manages properties for other people. So they help property investors manage it. So for instance, Nathan and I, we own rental properties, and we use a property manager because we know that they can do the job more efficiently, so we can focus on our own personal businesses and other projects. We also do tenant screening. Tenant screening is like credit reports, criminal background reports, all of this stuff. When we think about tenant screening, it's more about helping our clients be successful, like get all this information up front so you can approve a qualified tenant to have the most success for your rental property. And then the other aspect that we love is the automated online payments. Go online, pay your rent online, so easy compared to like receiving a physical check. And one of the best things about the online payment system is that tenants can log on, set up their payments, and then make it automated. So you might have done this with some of the bills that you have, make it all automated. But our data has showed year after year that when someone has the automated payment set up, they're more likely to pay rent on time, which means they're less likely to get late fees. So when we think about helping our clients or helping the industry, it's not just the people that pay us money, but if we can help the renter population also help them save money by paying less late fees, by giving these convenient tools, then we can really feel good about our job too. That it's not just about, our target demographic, but it's an industry as a whole. And that's what we found software to be, is about helping people be more efficient so they can do their jobs better and provide good services to their family, to their community, to their business, to their clients. Okay, next one, thank you. So just a little info about our clients. I mentioned they're landlords, property managers, real estate investors, owner operators. We're lucky enough to have some people in Grants Pass who use our software too, which is really, really cool, always fun to run into. We're signing up about 10 new clients daily. Most of that all comes through search traffic. So someone who is looking to answer those same problems that Nathan had 15 years ago, like, oh, this is feeling really inefficient. I want a solution. Let's go online and Google, like, how do I collect rent online? How do I get automated rent payments set up? How can I screen my tenants? And so we can be one of those options out there. And just to kind of share, I don't know if you guys can see it on there, but I did throw out the stat that according to the Rental Protection Agency, there are over 23 million landlords in the US. That could be someone who owns at least one single family property. So that's our target market. There's a lot out there. That's not even including the property managers. So we feel even in our space with competitors, there's a lot of fish in the sea. So we can each provide our different solution. And we really focus on that entry to mid-market or landlord and property manager. I mentioned there might be someone who owns one property and there's plenty of companies that own 100,000 properties. So we can provide the answer to any of them, but we like focusing on that. We say 1 to 5,000 and that target market is right at that 50 to 250 units, just because they seem to be really savvy with using software, understanding the property management business as well. Okay, next one, please. I threw out this quote. It's pretty long. I'll just read the whole thing. So I searched for months and spoke to several companies in regards to software, and that was user-friendly and comprehensive. I have 7 doors now and looking to grow that number over the next couple of years. So this is from one of our clients. And what I love about this is that it really shows the growth potential of our clients. People start out with 1 or 2 doors. They continue to grow up to that 50 number, that 250 number. And as a software as a service company, that means we do like monthly billing and people pay for what they need. So someone might start out paying a little bit based on their portfolio, but then they can really grow with us as well. Some of our competitors have minimums that are like, you have to have 250 units to even talk to us. You have to be willing to pay, what was the one I just looked at? It's like $750 minimum a month. Well, when you rent out a property, you have 1 or 2, and your rent is only being $2,000, eating up half of that budget already, considering all those other expenses. That was that problem that even Nathan ran into, like, this is unaffordable, it's unsustainable. So we like thinking about that. Okay. Some of these like core values that I think have really defined our company. I threw up here, the biggest one is customer service. I mentioned there are competitors in the marketplace, of course. Feature for feature between the softwares, we're all the same. We all collect rent, we all help with accounting, you can track your properties. But what we really try to stand out on is our customer service. We have 17 employees, they are all in-house employees, they come to the office, and we're US based with that support. Most of our employees are actually in the customer service department. So that means people calling us, asking questions about how to use the software, but maybe also about well, how do I set up an LLC to manage properties for like my family member? It's kind of talking about the industry also. So as much as we can help people solve the issue that they're looking for an answer, that's what we try to do. And we do that through that customer service. We're always calling back, we're emailing support, chat support. And if you look at, the reviews of the software, that's what we try to shine on. If we can do everything to make sure that we have the best customer service in the industry, we feel like we're doing our job well, because it's all about that idea of helping people. And then some of these other core values that I throw out there that really help drive Rentec Direct is that client experience that goes back to customer service, but also their experience using the software. There's something called user experience with software design. So that means like when you look at a web page, when you look at any app, where a button is located close to an action, that's the design aspect of a digital platform that makes it really easy to figure out. Is it intuitive? So we're thinking about all of this to make our clients' lives really efficient. The other thing on there, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but Rentec Direct has been, is debt-free and has been organically grown since inception. What that allows us to do is truly make decisions for growth based on our core values of customer service and client experience. Some tech companies or some companies in general, when they have a board or if they have investment capital, they might need to make decisions that help their company grow really quickly, help their company spend that capital to earn more capital and earn more revenue. But we can make a choice of, well, we have 100 people asking for this feature. That's not going to earn us any more money, but it's going to help those 100 people make their jobs that much better versus, or we could, develop a new feature in our software that maybe that earns us more money. So basically making those choices, because it's just Nathan and I making these decisions, but really we always come back to these core values of we want to serve our customers and have that good client experience. Okay, we can go to the next one. Judy did mention some of our awards and we're very, very proud of them. So Inc. 5000, that's the list of the fastest growing privately owned companies in the United States. We've been on that list for 7 years in a row. Next one that comes out is this summer. So hopefully we make it again. And that is very, very exciting. To be on the list more than once is very notable, but to be able to consistently do it in consecutive years, we're very proud of that. The other one that we're always very excited about is the American Business Awards. They present the CVs and we have gotten 6 years in a row, constantly getting gold medals, most recently a gold medal for Entrepreneur of the Year. So good job, Nathan. So looking ahead, we always like to kind of think about like, well, what does this mean? What's our future look like for Rentec? We're always looking to enhance our client services, core values, customer service, client experience. What can we add that's going to make the software more efficient? Proactive account management means instead of being reactive, someone calling and saying like, hey, here's a problem, actually doing those active account checkups, calling our clients, checking in with them, reestablishing that personal connection we want to have with our clients. And again, that brings us back to that core differentiator as a business. We want to serve our clients. We want to build our relationships with all 15,000 of our clients that we have, which can be hard when you have a smaller team, but that's still a priority that we're focusing on. Mobile app launched this year, so excited to check that off the list. And then I think something that's pretty unique that you might find interesting is that we want to maintain a minimum employee growth. We have that idea of like really growing small, and that comes back to that personal connection that we want to have with all of our employees. We want everyone on our team to know each other, like each other, recognize faces. So some companies choose to demonstrate growth and success by hiring more people, hitting those employee metric numbers. Some of our competitors have over 250 people that work for them. Do you think that CEO knows every person who walks down the office? That's something that I never want to experience when I walk through the halls of our business. Okay, next one. Okay, always important to think about challenges that we've experienced. So I mentioned a little bit about investment capital. So we will always be organically grown, but that puts us up against some challenges from our competitors who get millions, like millions of dollars in investment capital. So we're competing with advertising budgets that are more than our annual revenue. So that makes us be creative. And one of the ways that we've gotten around that is through the free education we provide. If we can put out articles all over the industry that are free for everyone, that helps put our name out there as industry thought leaders. And we found that to be very successful. Hiring has actually been surprisingly challenging, especially I'd say post-COVID era. When we have a job posting, like I said, we hire slowly, but when we put it out there, low numbers of applicants, and with that, low numbers of people actually showing up to the interview. It's about 75% who will book an interview and then not show up, which is so surprising. Like, I don't know, to go through the effort of like emailing and coordinating, and then we're just sitting around waiting. So that's been a surprising challenge. And then I think definitely unique to our industry, but I'm sure lots of other businesses experiences. Our clients have to deal with federal regulations, state regulations, local jurisdiction regulations for their industry for being a landlord and that landlord tenant law. So we need to make sure as a software company that we are helping our clients be compliant. So some states might say you can't use arrest records on a criminal background report. So are we making sure that the tenant screening report we provide are adhering to that state's tenant screening requirements? So that we really, really have to pay attention to help our clients be compliant, because that's our responsibility as well. And then, of course, dealing with different taxes in states as a software service. It's distributed across every state, and recently there's been more rules about software being considered a product, even though it's produced here. If someone buys it in another state, now it's suddenly a state that's subject to that type of sales tax. And so that can be complicated because we're doing it all manually. Next one. And then just to kind of share a little bit of why I think we've been successful. These are things that I think Nathan and I really uphold, just having that mindset of, let's come back to our core values. What do we want to do to drive the business forward? And let's actually take action on it. And then continuing to do the research on our industry. Talking to clients, putting ourselves out there to figure it out, what's not just going to be great for our clients. How about the renters in the industry, real estate investors, real estate agents, and then also that, like I mentioned, research on real estate law, landlord tenant law, and then just general business laws also that we went up to. And then taking action on things. It's not just an idea, but let's make it take place. And then of course, being strategic with our budget and our marketing. Okay, I think that's everything I have. Any questions, you guys? Yes. Oh, in terms of products, so she was asking if I had a card. Yes, I do have cards. And then if you can only use one of the products that we offer. So no, you sign up for the service, everything is included. So if you want to use the tenant screening, do you want a website? There's different things that might have additional costs associated with it. So like a tenant screening report, that might have a cost that can be deferred to a tenant, but like we provide a free website to everyone, free account setup. Like there's things that are included. Oh, all online rent payments are also no charge to our clients, so, or tenants. So there's things that you have access to everything, which is what we try to provide. Yeah. Did you have a question, Doug?
Question and then also comment. And you sort of touched on it. So you're analyzing and offering services based on each state's requirements for landlord tenant law and the various things. That sounds terribly complicated and cumbersome, but you're doing that and you feel like what do you feel like your actually is? And then the second is more of a comment. In our West Coast area, there's a lot of misconceptions about landlord tenant law and how ownership is to the landlord. And I would love it if you, and you probably do this, offer encouragement and positivity about landlord tenant law and how to deal with those things. Because I think there's a significant number of people out there that would like to be landlords, but maybe that bubble of anxiety about landlord tenant law prevents them or stops them or slows them down significantly. And yeah.
Yeah, so asking about how we can remain compliant with different landlord tenant laws. So I think we rely a lot on our industry partnerships also. And so if we're working with companies that are like, I'll go back to tenant screening reports. That's been a big one where each state might have a different rule. So how can we work with our partners to collaborate on the research to make sure that we are remaining as compliant as possible? Of course, we have in our terms that like everyone is conditional to make sure they're following the letter of the law, but we can at least rely on the federal regulations in terms of what our software is allowing people to do. And then anytime you hear something, we're trying to stay on top of it. But you're right, there's 50 states, each state has so many counties, so many cities. So, but it's something that we try and pay attention to. And then Nathan has an answer too, so he might elaborate. But here, like kind of on that.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we do is we make our system flexible enough to work with every state's regulations. If you think about, there's a lot of people in every state that use QuickBooks. It's a software application that works everywhere. We've done something similar with our software, and because every state might have different regulations based on when you can apply a late fee and how much that late fee might be. So we make our system flexible enough to accommodate every scenario, and then the customer can configure it to meet their state's regulations. Not to say there's not crazy stuff that happens all the time. This morning, I just heard that Colorado says if you're providing an online solution to tenants, then up front and center, you have to have like 3 paragraphs in both English and Spanish in front of everything else that they read. Before they can get to pay their bill, they have to read this 3 paragraphs of information. Just something that they decided this would be a good idea. Let's throw this, any online provider has to do this. This just happened May 3rd, I think. We heard about it this month.
And then in terms of educating people on like landlord tenant laws or the perception, I think that is on the duty as like a writer and an educator. Is I would say like we try and help tenants be good tenants, that's half of the battle, but also landlords and property managers be good landlords and property managers. So how can we create this relationship and this perception that we're all here to help each other? Of course, there's like bad seeds on both ends of that relationship. And I shouldn't even use the word bad seeds, but there can be people that maybe don't fit the mold of perfect landlord, perfect renter. And then in terms of helping people get into real estate investing, I think it is all about those like anecdotal stories that here's how to do it, but also here's challenges that work and how we overcame those. And then here are the success stories. And just personally, over the years of renting, we have had crazy stories that are kind of always fun to share, but that hasn't deterred us from continuing to do it. And then it's all about diversity too. When you think about real estate investing, that is one way of passive income. It's one way to have a business, but also let's diversify, let's figure out how to make this work, and then continue to self-educate and be involved in landlord tenant organizations. I think that's a really, really good idea because they are putting the information about changing landlord tenant laws, and they also have the power to be a voice if something wouldn't work out business-wise or renter-wise. So it's all about advocating together as a group. I think can be important.
In the past couple of years, the state of Oregon has been changing its land use laws to increase density to allow more and more units on single family lots and duplexes, triplexes, things like that. And I'm just wondering, have you seen, at least in the state of Oregon, have you seen any increase as a result of that in the number of rental units that are out there? And do you think it's beginning to make a dent in the housing market here in terms of providing more, just more rental units to people? Because my understanding is the rental rates is still like 99, or not the rate, but I mean, the vacancy rate is still extremely low.
So I think like the land use laws are a good step, and this might be a little bit of my opinion that I'm seeing, but there's also the affordability of building houses that comes into it. It's not just the materials, but there's also like the SCC costs that could affect building something new. And it's a complicated process. So I think it's a nice idea, but it does take a lot of capital to build those multifamily properties, even if it's a 4-plex or a 2-plex. So I think there's also the need. Are we looking for low-income housing? Are we looking for workforce housing? And all of these play a role in making housing affordable and then affecting those vacancy rates. But
I'm always curious for anyone who does own rental properties, what your personal experience is. I mean, we have a handful and we have had vacancies in our properties. So what are we missing in terms of actuality versus what gets reported and anecdotal stories on either side? But in terms of the land use laws, I haven't personally seen a difference, but I think maybe it's more because are things actually getting built that those laws are trying to encourage to do, because there's more than just the part of land that you can do it, but like how much is this gonna cost and how does it pencil out, so. Mhm.
Over there, Greg.
Thanks. Talking about education, especially for potential renters, I just learned last week of a program called Rent Well. That's started in Portland. It's a series of 12 one-hour classes that persons in transition can take. When they complete the program, they get like a bond from the Rent Well people that's I think valued at $5,000 that allows them to cover first and last month's rent and security deposits. Have you heard anything about that? And is it something you can work on?
Yeah, I haven't heard of that, but I think that's incredible. And that's the kind of stuff, like, I love hearing about that because I'll go check it out and write about it and let people know more about it. But I think as much as I've heard of different programs where you can do that and kind of work towards proving that or demonstrating that you are will be a good renter or qualified renter in different ways other than credit score or criminal history. So I think that's incredible if we can help people who want to rent, and that can help alleviate some of these housing needs that we have. So I love working with industry partners like that. Thank you for sharing. He's saying you can rent it instead. Well, thanks again, everyone. We always love like talking about business, talking about housing, all of that. And thanks again for inviting us today.
And thank you again. I always appreciate people like yourself who take the time out of their busy days to come and talk to us, and we always learn a lot. So I think this is one of the smart clubs in town, because we learn a lot. Okay, it's time for announcements. So if you want to make your way up here, just a few things. And we'll let you know that, the Lynn does a lot of work with the kids at Illinois Valley High School. And we have 2 kids going to, North Valley, I'm sorry, wrong. Anyway, North. Anyway, we got 3 kids actually going to Riley this year. We only budgeted for 2, but we got 3. We're going to figure out the money somehow. That's good. And Noah Poland, who won the speech contest here 2 weeks ago, actually went to the district conference and competed. And so that's good news. And also, I just want to thank Kurt for going up there and representing us. He went to the district conference and accepted all the awards that we received. Thank you. Yeah, I thought you might get a kick out of it. And then lastly, Patrice Hamlin is also a Rotarian. She works at Raptor Creek Farms, and she asked me to make an announcement. Shining a Light on Hunger. This is for the food bank. Is on June the 6th from 6 to 9. Anyway, if you can, buy some tickets and go. It's a fundraiser it's an incredible cause, Raptor Creek Farm and the food bank. So, and the food is eaten right here in Chesapeake County. Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
Thomasina.
All right.
Por favor.
Well, guess what? We have a week to go to the PAX Gala. And if you haven't got your tickets yet, we have a few left. And we would love to have you come celebrate 25 years of serving the students and the community in our area. The PAC is over at the Performing Arts Center at Grants Pass High School, if you don't know. But it's going to be a great 2-hour program where a lot of the people that have been across the stage earlier are coming back, and they'll do a little blip or a little whatever. Won't be a lot from anybody, but it'll be a lot from a lot. So I hope you can come. And if you go online, Grants Pass High School, you'll be able to buy your tickets online. Thank you.
Okay. Talking Mint. And first thing I want to do, I'm giving you an update on what's going on with Mint. And we are in the process now of transition, hoping by summer. And that's going to be dependent upon permits, which some move fast, some don't. But we're in that process of getting that to happen, of transitioning the Parker House from breakfast in the park will stop when Parker House is a shelter from 9 to 5 daily. That doesn't mean we Rotarians can stop helping, but we won't help in the same way. There will be no more breakfast in the park. And in fact, I'm thinking, I haven't been, this isn't solid yet, but I'm thinking we probably won't do breakfast. I think that may be something that they're working with other agencies to help with breakfast. Gina's shaking her head. Anyway, but what we will be doing is a main meal. And that main meal, if they're open from 9 to 5, might be around 1-ish. And that would be a meal train that you would sign up if you're interested in doing. And just like all meal trains, you provide a meal or part of a meal and do it with a few other people. I've done that. And how many people would we serve? I don't know. But if we're looking at what we serve now, for instance, today, we serve an average of about 100 to 120 people in the parks. So meal train, I'm visualizing is probably going to be more than like one person's macaroni and cheese. You'll probably have to add some other things as well. We will also be offering the same kinds of things, hygiene products, clothes that are needed. And by the way, for right now, if you are a person that has too many pairs of summer shoes, especially you guys, if you have clothes, summery clothes, women's sandals for you, for women here. I was told by Elaine today that those are the kinds of things that are needed. Also socks. What are you saying? Old cell phones. Okay, yeah, I've heard that before. Okay, I'm not sure how they're going to do that. But they are going to have at Parker House showers. Not a lot of them, but there will be some showers. There will also hopefully be washer and dryer for people. And places like the food bank will still be coming there to bring foodstuffs. Manslow will still be coming as well. I'm being told to shut it off. So I'm just letting you know that's, yeah, she's my hook. So anyway, keep on keeping on supporting now with food and donations and that sort of thing, but it's coming to a close soon. Thank you.
Two announcements. Porch Fest is coming along. We've almost got the merge between the bands and the porches and the time slots and all the, I'm trying not to use too colorful terms, the accommodations of the requests of the various bands and what they want and whatnot. So we've almost got all that done. Some of the, what's the word? Batshit crazy. Stuff it's requested. But that's almost done, but we will send out a email real soon asking for various signups for some of the odder things. The day of, we need as many people as possible for Porch Fest, but there's a few things that happen a couple days ahead of time. A few things that happen at the end of the day, we need people to sign up for. That email will come out soon. And then the other announcement is the fundraiser yard art auction was this past weekend. We were raising money for the Hillcrest Veterans Village project, and that really went well. I think we raised just shy of $20,000 for selling yard art. And I'm gonna take a moment to say thank you to the people that helped that were in the auction team. Renee.
Ashley.
Ashley. Sorry, Renee's over there. I was looking at Renee just now. Yeah. Ashley, Mary, there, and Jamie, and who else is here from the auction team itself? And then there's all the Tommy, thank you, and then all the people that made art. And it was really wonderful. So again, we raised, it looks like just a tiny bit shy of $17,000, and then we had another person come along and said that they would donate a large chunk of money to after that. So that's fantastic. So I think we're going to break 20,000, no problem. But that's a small amount of what we need to get this project going, but it is the important part, and then the next important part is support from the city to make this happen, and then we can leverage that to get city funds to build this housing project. Thank you.
No, yeah, I need to let my brother, and I am the sergeant at arms, so I will do both. So I'll go all transitions. First of all, I have some green bags in the back of the room because I am going to do as Jody did before. If you want to donate some food and bring some food every day that you come, bring it in the back, or you can take a green bag home and then just bring it back with you next Thursday. All the food, I will run it back and forth and make sure that it's at the food bank. So that's just one small way that everything can help a little bit. So I just don't, I know Jody takes on a lot, so it's time for some of the rest of us to step up. So with that, I'll go into the Sergeant of Arms, and I'm gonna say, well, the first thing I did, of course, is find a little historic pieces of information. Today is Victory Day in Russia, was the defeat of Nazi Germany, World War II, 1945. So that is something to celebrate. Another piece of interesting trivia is South Africa's newly elected parliament chose Nelson Mandela to be the country's first Black president on May 9th. So those are both pretty amazing, but that's not what I'm going to focus on today, because today is actually a bittersweet day for me. It is the day that my mother died 2 years ago. And so that was kind of heartfelt, and I couldn't kind of get beyond that, being, if you're looking for a day that has something to say, that is the day. They will forever have something to say. So I just thought I would talk a little bit about bittersweet motherhood, because those of us who've been there know that it is bittersweet. There's the two sides, and I'm just actually going to apologize to my mother for my first 30 years, because now that I'm in my second 30 years, I realize what a rotten child I was. My poor mother, she had 6 children, 14 and younger. Her husband was a traveling salesman and was gone for at least 3 weeks every month. And she just plodded along and took care of us kids, and I'm sure we took care of ourselves more than anything. I never appreciated anything about our mother. I thought she was boring. She never wanted to do anything. She was always tired. And then my dad would come back and he'd bring fireworks from these great places that he'd gone. And he'd come back and we'd go to McDonald's, and it was just like a party when my dad showed up. Well, now in hindsight, I understand my dad was probably a bipolar person. He went really high and he went really low. And my dad and my poor mother had to deal with the real lows behind the closed doors, and the fact that he never really made enough to pay the bills. So we all watched our cars drive away when they were taken away by the whoever it is who comes and picks up your car when you're not paying your bills. So my mother was constantly doing that, but we just ignored her because she just was tired and whatever, and I think in a lot of ways I have 3 younger brothers and sisters, and that's what gave me my skill with children, was because, somebody had to start picking up the slack, and I had a little bit more of my father's personality. So anyway, so that's kind of my mom's life. And so, you go through teenage young and, you just get through it, and you're out of the house and you're free and whatever. And then interestingly enough, you get married and then you have children and you start realizing, oh, wow. And lucky for me, and this is how I truly feel blessed, is the fact that I've had the last 30 years with my mother to truly work through my issues with my children and see the strength that she had. Because I always used to think, well, I got my dad's personality, great. And now it's just like, I should have gotten more of my mom's. Because she was the strength. She was the strength, because all 6 of us went on with the college. I mean, there's lots of success in our house, and look back at what my mother lived through, and that wasn't easy. So this is in honor of the bitter and the sweet, and the gratitude for the opportunity to be able to go back, and the thankfulness that I had that bonding time with my mom, especially the last 10, 15 years. When my life slowed down and her life slowed down, and we used to go to concerts at the Bach Festival, we used to do things together, drank a lot of wine, sitting there talking, and it was just truly a blessing. I had the opportunity to apologize and let her know just how much I did respect everything that she was and the solid strength that she had. So I'm going to throw my happy bucks out to motherhood, the bitter and the sweet. And I'm gonna thank you guys. I cannot tell you how wonderful it is to hear about entrepreneurship starting right here in our local valley and the success that you've done. You know, I'm honestly really bored. I've seen you in a million places and I'm always so proud of what you've done for our community. And so, thank you. So with that, I'll walk around. Zara, there we go. See, I remember. It's a good thing. I'm gonna be first. I'm gonna be first. So here we go.
Hi, do I have to stand? Okay. Right, I have 100 happy bucks today. Yeah, and can I say that she go to the auction, art auction, donation? And, but before that, I would like to thank Kaycee and me for a wonderful talk. And I don't know, I may be a little daring, but can I sort of invite you, Kaycee, to join our club? Yeah, I mean, I know you are so busy, but when you can, just think about it. I mean, you don't have to come every week, you can come once a month or whatever. And of course, the other happy thing that happened last week was the art auction and the party at your home to meet these fantastic artists, and it was just wonderful. And of course, the other thing which happened was our little trip with a book group that we went to Mackenzie River on this, I call it a chalet, on the river. It was magical. When you can, and if you want to get away from all some craziness in town, just take your lovely husband or partner or whoever friend and go. Call Tommy. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. There's gotta be some others, happy people in the group. Anybody else happy today? 1 second.
I enjoyed the presentation, thank you. And my happy bucks are for the teamwork that went into this auction. It was amazing, and all the artists, and how much fun it is to have them come pick up their art and meet them, the people that bought the art, and how excited they are about their pieces that they got. So anyway, that's my.
I'm looking forward to picking up mine. Okay, have a happy birthday.
I have 5 happy bucks. I also am so delighted to have this young couple come talk to us, and they're homegrown, and I'm so proud of the kids that come from our community. We have a lot of winners, and for that I'm grateful. I also want to announce that I'm going to have a birthday party. I decided to celebrate my 83rd birthday, November 24th. And being not a real good hostess, I'm just gonna have an open house. I do have a good friend that's going to be cooking salmon the traditional way on Redwood 6 over a open pit. And we'll probably eat around 5, and it'll be potluck so that I have enough food that comes there. But I'm gonna have open house all day. I just am gonna be there to visit with people because I want to share. I've been working on aging. And I decided that I want to make my golden years truly golden. And I just want to visit with people and share ways that it can be done. So thank you, everybody. If you're interested, text me and I will send you directions and more details. But I just made this up on the way in today, so.
That sounds lovely. And you're right. We have so much success in our community with our kids. And for anybody, if anybody comes to you and tells you these kids today, you send them down to Grants Pass High School to do mock interviews, and you will walk away from that experience and go, wow, we have got some amazing teachers, because it takes teachers to get those people to be able to do that. But I went through that this morning, and I mean, it's the second thing, we want you to be really critical, we want you to do this, and I was like, well, how can you be critical when they answer the question so well, and they're so good. But it was wonderful. Okay, more happy butts.
I have 10 happy bucks because this week my mother, Ann Basker, would have been 100 years old. And she had 5 kids born in 4 years and 10 months, no twins. And I'm number 4, so we have some stories. Anyway, I also want to thank you. Your presentation was fabulous. You are very articulate, very professional. I just was mesmerized, and I'm thrilled for your success. Thank you.
I have a happy buck, sad buck, I guess, and I'm not sure how many I owe, because it kind of went in my head, it went back and forth. So I was in a strategic planning session, and my part in it was about housing, and to sit in a meeting with 20 people, big tables, and to watch 2 people go back and forth about the use of one word or another for strategic planning just drive you batshit crazy. And 4-letter words were in my head, and then maybe 5 minutes later, I was doing that. And then somebody else would do it and I'd get mad that I was doing it, 5 minutes, so I don't know how much money I owe, but probably a lot.
I feel your pain. I was at the high school and at the board meeting for the school board, and I know that Debbie's not here, but they were fighting over people not wanting to use citizen and some people wanting to use citizen in their mission statement. I mean, and that went on for a long time. It was pretty crazy. I'm gonna come out. I've got lots of happy bucks today. First of all, I'd like happy bucks for my niece Ashley and the work that she did with Doug and all of you that worked on them. I'm really grateful that you're here. I'm also paying it forward. I was brought in around the same age Ashley was many years ago, and people paid my dues because I was poor. And I'm not poor anymore, so I get to pay that forward. And I think time is a really valuable thing. And so is youth and enthusiasm and a love for community. So thank you for that. I also would thank all of you for being so amazing, being able to introduce my niece to such a wonderful group of people and a community that does great work like that is an honor and a privilege. So thank you all for being excellent. And then now I get to talk about me a little bit because I just had the greatest thing happen to me in the last few weeks. I have obtained yet another job. I am the new outreach coordinator for Pacific Aviation Northwest, which is a dream come true. And I did not apply for the job. They called me and said, you need to come and take this job. And I said, no, I have a job. And they said, no, you need to come and take this job. So I am the part-time coordinator for that. And I'm really looking forward to being able to tell you more about that. Whoever does our programming, I would love to sign up for that because I'm going to know more very soon and be able to share a lot of that with you. I have a great passion for flying, and we've got, it's a grant-funded position that is, we are the only school within the Pacific Northwest that received this grant, and it's for underserved areas to bring more pilots and commercial drone pilots into the industry. So you'll learn more about that from me. If you have any questions, if you want to learn how to fly, look me up. And I'm going to get back to that. That is very exciting because I know some of you were on the board. I think it was Michael Bird when we were trying to get the aviation through the economics and develop the airport. So that is really exciting because that's still out there going on. They're right. Yeah, Sora. And they're right now, they're putting in water and doing some of the infrastructure work up at the airport. So that is very exciting. Oh, and I don't want to forget the card because there we go. So everybody, here we go. You're going to have a selector. Such a good job. Pick a card, any card. Yeah. Winner is has the 2 of diamonds. There's so much time in Reno and Las Vegas, and you really should spend some time down there. You are one lucky lady. So with that.
All right, okay, that about wraps it up for today. Thank you again for coming and speaking with us. Really enjoyed it. And actually, I hope you decide to join us. Great to have you. And I want to thank Renee for being a great reader. Hey, Renee, thank you for being a great reader. Oh, great. I'm sorry, I missed that. Okay. And Mary. All right. Well, who else have I missed? Okay, anyway, thought for the day. This is really sweet. It's very short, but I found this morning from a woman named Mindy Kaling. And she says that gratitude is the closest thing to beauty manifested in an emotion. With that, thanks for coming and see you all next week.
Okay.